Hi! Let's start our Sunday in the best way possible. I have here my kombucha. We need to change her. We need to bottle the kombucha that has been here doing the first fermentation, and then we will make new batch. I already made some tea. So how I started my SCOBY was actually really funny, because in order to make kombucha you need a SCOBY. SCOBY is a colony of bacteria that ferments the tea and gives it the probiotics that you need, that is good for your gut, right? I bought a bottle of kombucha that is unflavored, it's just the original one, and then I let it sit open in a jar for 2 weeks, and then I had a thin layer of SCOBY. With that, I just made my tea as normal, and finally we have this thick SCOBY here ready to make great kombucha. So this is the SCOBY, and it was made simply from another kombucha batch, and it's thick, it's great to make kombucha. You need a liquid from your previous batch and the SCOBY, so I'm gonna separate this. So I will separate the SCOBY and I will remove some liquid for our new batch, and I will then just get ready to ferment the other one. I'm just gonna get them ready to bottle. I truly love kombucha. I love how, like, the flavor. I love the fact that I can just have probiotics really easily, and I don't need to worry about my gut health in that extent. Although I complement my diet by eating also kimchi and yogurts, which is really good for your gut health as well. But kombucha is my favorite probiotic. I'm gonna make 2 different flavors of kombucha. One will be watermelon, the other will be just ginger. Okay, I guess the third one will be no flavor, like natural, but you know what I mean. So I always keep a bottle of unflavored kombucha. First, because I can do some cocktails with it, and the second is in case something happens with my batch, I always have a batch ready that I can just make a SCOBY out of. And in case you guys want to see that happen, just let me know, and just let me know in the comments, and I will make sure that there is a batch ready for you to see how to make your SCOBY from home. I will just cut the watermelon. So now we just need to add them to the bottle. This is the flavoring, and for the second fermentation we will let it sit outside for like 3 days, because it's not as warm as I would have liked. Like, after the first fermentation you are able to just drink your kombucha. However, I like to do the second fermentation because I like it to be frizzy. So I need to see how sweet this is. Not sweet at all. We will need to add some sugar. So I'm putting 1 teaspoon per bottle. It is important that you don't fill it until the top, because or else once it carbonized it will just rise and explode. So it's important to leave always a little gap in between. I started doing kombucha when in 2020, on the first lockdown. I was in Prague. I was bored to my life and I needed to get some kombucha, but it was sold out, so I learned how to make it. I used to watch You Brew Kombucha. So that's when I learned how to do kombucha at home. Okay. With the risk of my bottles exploding, I keep the second fermentation in this cooler because we had already several incidents and accidents in the kitchen where the bottles just exploded with the pressure of the second fermentation. Therefore, I put everything in this cooler. If anything happens, I am safe and nobody gets hurt, and that is not a big mess. It's easier to clean here than to clean a kitchen where a bottle just fully exploded, you know. We just put everything in the cooler. And now it will ferment for 3 days in here. Here we have black tea and sugar. Woo! Mamma mia. The rest will be filled with water, and we add the kombucha, water, and the kombucha SCOBY. The SCOBY is here. This will be fermenting for the next 2 weeks. We need to just protect the top so it can still be a sterile place. We put it here. And I keep my kombucha on my kombucha drawer. There is no matcha without chia. I have boiled some hot water, so I'm gonna soak 2 teaspoons of chia seeds. Need to whisk the matcha. Here I have the last drops of date syrup. We're gonna put it on the side. I don't even know if I have enough. Oh yeah, I still have enough. Barista milk, it's soy and oat. And to finalize, we will put then the matcha. So good. I normally have the tendency of putting chia seeds on my morning drinks because first, extra nutrients, right? So I don't want to say this saying because it's unnecessary violence towards animals, but it's like you kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but that is not a vegan-like saying. I don't know. But I can accomplish 2 things at once, right? So I add extra nutrients to my diet, and I bring more fiber, more omega-3, and more nutrients to my diet. And I also have a more fulfilling breakfast because in the morning I don't really like to have breakfast. Like I cannot eat first thing in the morning. It always takes me a long time to get warm up to the food. So this is my trick in the morning. Whatever drink I'm gonna make, I will always add chia seeds because it helps me. Yummy. Oh, so good. Date syrup is my favorite sweetener. Before it used to be maple syrup, but now date syrup tastes like caramel to me. I love it. I love it. That's it then, my people.